back to High Country Homesteading. I just got back from my first Azure Standard drop and I wanted to share a little bit of the haul that I got and what my experience was like for the first time. Recently I've been looking into ways to get some more bulk food in my house. We have a pretty small pantry, but we do have a big basement, so I do have room for some bulk storage food. And as I've been getting more into baking things and cooking from scratch, I know that I've wanted a lot more food on hand in my house. So I knew it was time to stock up on some essentials, and I've heard that Azure Standard was a great place to do that with really good quality food, and everything that I've gotten here is organic and straight from the farm, and I was really interested in doing that. So I've heard a lot of other people talk about it, and I thought it was time to do that too. So here's my experience. I went on the website and I just slowly over time started adding things to my cart. And then once I finally clicked that I wanted to make a purchase, it told me about around the time that the drop near me was going to deliver. And so I had about a week extra to make any changes that I wanted to. And so there was a specific cutoff time about a couple of days before the shipment was about to go out that it would cut you off and you couldn't add or change anything to your cart. So after the drop-off time, I got an email that told me specifically the time and the date for my drop. And my drop was about an hour, 20-minute drive from my house. And that's typical for me because I live pretty much in the middle of nowhere, so I knew it would probably be something at least that far away. But that may be a consideration for you if that's too far for you. But on the website, you will be able to type in your zip code and you can find the nearest drop to you. And that was the nearest one for me. So not ideal, especially because of gas money. But if it makes sense to outweigh the costs by buying the bulk purchase items, then maybe it's the right fit for you. I don't have any other big box stores near me. The closest one would be about an hour and a half away, so it's kind of the same thing. So once you make a purchase, there's going to be a drop coordinator, and the coordinator is who handles everything, sends out the emails, lets you know the directions of what to do when you get to the location and what time you need to be there. So we got an email, I think it was yesterday, day before the drop, and it gave directions on that they would like us to be there early and how many items were going to be in the truck, and then if everybody could help unload the truck, we could get it done much faster. So we went to the drop, got there pretty early before the truck got there, and I would say there was a good amount of people, probably at least 20 other cars or more who arrived as well. So there was a good amount of people, and the coordinator had little signs, little plaque signs that she put out all around the parking lot in a section, and I'll show you a video of it. But basically everybody stood in line at the back of the truck, and the person in the truck would just hand down boxes one by one, and every person took a box and they would look at the label on the box and they would put it in the right place that matched the name on the plaque. So everybody started getting little piles of their things. And then once the truck was all done unpacking, then you could go check out your items and make sure that everything was there. So that was pretty easy, and I like the community aspect of it. But I will say one caveat was that one of my items was missing, and it was just a little 1 pound bag of Parmesan cheese. So I don't know if it accidentally got placed in somebody else's pile and they didn't realize it and took it home with them, but that's fine, and you can just contact Azure and let them know that you didn't get the item and you needed to be credited back for it. So let me show you the couple of things that I got. Now this is just a baby step into it and a very small haul. So I just wanted to have these things for a little while and see at what rate I use them and make sure that I do use them before I buy a super amount in bulk, and because I don't want to waste any money and I don't want to waste any food. So this is what I got.
So here I have a package of 8-ounce blocks of butter, and the important things about these butter is that they are the grass-fed, grass-finished butter. And I've been really looking into that lately. We're about to buy a half cow that is grass-fed, grass-finished. So that was something that I was definitely interested in buying, especially since I've been doing a lot of baking lately. The next item I got was a few blocks of organic feta cheese. and we do a lot of Greek food in this house, and I absolutely love feta. I also picked up some elderberry syrup because we recently had a child start preschool, and if you know how that is. I also bought some baking products. So I got some baking powder. I also got this 25-pound bag of bread flour, and I got 3 bags right here, 10-pound bags of the all-purpose flour. They didn't have a bigger size than this, so I just had to get a couple this time. And then I got a pound of dried mango strips, because this is one of my favorite snacks, and it was the best value, better than my grocery store. And then the only 2 other things was I got a 5-pound bag of kidney beans and a 5-pound bag of black beans. And I haven't had experience cooking from dry beans. I usually get canned, but I'm really trying to change that, and I've recently gotten an Instant Pot, maybe the last person to do so, and I know cooking beans in the Instant Pot is really quick and easy, so I want to have these on hand for when we need them, and it just makes me feel better, honestly, to have them in my pantry. So I wanted to quickly show you how I'm going to be storing these items. So I got about 6 of these food grade 5-gallon buckets off of Amazon, and they came with the regular lids that you just pound and place it with a hammer, but I know I'm absolutely not going to do that. So off a recommendation of a lot of people, I got the Gamma lids, which are just so perfect, and you just twist them on and off and they seal airtight. Now for regular storage in my pantry, I got these that come with a nice airtight locking lid. So I'm going to fill this up with my flour bag, and then whatever's left over I will put in the food grade buckets, and I will keep down here in the basement. So before we put the flour away, we're going to actually put them in the freezer. This is a chest freezer that we recently bought for our side of beef that we're going to put in here, and the flour is going to go into the freezer for a couple of days because it's supposed to kill any organisms that might be in the flour and just make sure that there's no little buggies in there and it's safe for storage.
But that's all I got except for the Parmesan cheese that mysteriously disappeared. But it was a good experience, and I'll definitely try to get more next time just to make the trip worth it. But I enjoyed it, and honestly, there were quite a few things that I would have gotten, but I do have a really good grocery store near me that we go to once a week that I really love, and they have a whole organic line of products. So there were a couple things like honey and maple syrup and just other things that I can get organically there, and I checked the prices, and just the cost difference wasn't good enough for me to order from Azure instead of just pick up at the grocery store. Like the price per ounce or price per pound just weren't comparable, and it was cheaper at the grocery store. So there were things that I've seen other people get from Azure, but I can happen to get them cheaper and organic at my grocery store. So I just went with that, and that's why it's a pretty small haul. But next time, I think I'll definitely do more butter, more flour, just kind of the staples like that. But if you're interested in looking into Azure for yourself or seeing if there's a drop near you, I have a link in the description that you can click on, and it'll take you straight to the site, and you can look around and see what kind of good things you find. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.